Hey, thanks for joining us again for our social media market blitz. We are here with an awesome local Middleburgh resident and artist, Casey Beal of Casey Beal Designs. We're super pumped for you to take the time with us to talk about why you decided to plant your roots here in Middleburgh.
Middleburgh is where I was born and raised, so I have great roots here. I know lots of people in the area, so amazing connections off the bat, which has been wonderful. I have this space that I can afford to expand and explore with my own creativity. There's inspiration left and right. I'm always inspired by plants, animals, local wildlife, so it's a great opportunity here.
And the most comfortable sweater I have right now, this beautiful rabbit, hand printed, right?
Yes, hand printed.
Can you talk a little bit about your mediums? Like you mentioned the nature and really animals and whatnot. So how did you kind of get started with that?
I went to school for jewelry design. So I had started doing silversmithing, stone setting. When I had my daughter, I had to move to something that was easier to do in like half-hour nap time spurts. So I started painting onesies and on fabric. And then I was asked by the local wildlife rehab conference if I could do some special bags for them. So I was hand painting bags, and people just love my designs so much. I needed to figure out ways of duplicating them a little faster, so I took on some block printing. So these are all stamps. I come up with the drawing, I transfer, and then I carve each one. And then right now I've been able to transfer everything for clothing to organic cotton in the item. And then, so that's it. I go over here, I ink it up, and then I hope that I don't drop it in the wrong spot.
Yep.
And I go like that, and then I cover it. And then I usually look ridiculous because I'm too short. And I go like this, so it's
nice.
like CPR maneuver.
Yep, I got you. 30 and 2.
Yeah. And then in the end, the print is transferred onto the paper. This one would be for printing on paper.
Oh, okay.
So I would have a carved block like this.
Oh, okay. And that's different than the blocks over there within the press.
So
okay.
This one I would put in between and then have the paper as a sample, and then you'd go like, let's see, I think I'll go that way. Yeah. And then you roll it through, and then it'll print onto the other side. I also get grants for teaching classes. So I've been able to teach through the library in Schoharie, doing an art journaling class. And then I've also done block printing class with high school students at Middleburgh. When it comes to teaching, I love that I can have that one-on-one connection with individuals. So I have a wide range of students that participated in the Schoharie library one when it came to the school. Again, I love that it's one-on-one. They have the freedom. They don't have to worry about that structure. So it's all about understanding the materials, being creative. Walls are original paintings or block prints. So this one and the cattails are ones that were carved and then pressed by hand. Other ones, this one's a collaboration with my sister. She did the background, and then I painted and then added the marker on top. The other ones are from images around the garden.
I love the cards, especially knowing it's the holiday season. It's always good to have some cards and have some unique cards. Again, very similar style to the print that we saw hang on the wall.
I have this design, which again is another one of the murals that we might check out. This one's a 4x6 originally. All of them were taken from images locally at a wildlife rehabber, Kelly Martin. So she's been amazing. Again, she's the one who got me into really painting and then helped me expand my business. The wildlife community has been so supportive and amazing, and I couldn't have gotten here without them. But yeah, that card in particular was funded by a CREATE grant. So I was able to get an individual grant a couple of years ago. And then they also supported the purchase of these cards. So every time someone buys a card, the money goes right back to wildlife rehab. So again, different ways of being able to use the grant to support further in the community.
I see over here you have some really awesome t-shirts. And again, I know I'm wearing mine, that's super comfortable, but how did you get into more of the t-shirt design space for your products?
T-shirt design, again, I was trying to figure out something that I could do on a regular basis. I was hand painting onesies.
Why is it so important for you to be hands-on on all of that and to have that personal kind of intimate relationship with your art or with your t-shirts with the block printing?
For me, it's just because I love the process.
Yeah.
I love making the art. I love the carvings. As a background with the jewelry and like the idea of sculpting, it's nice to have that aspect. It's nice to have something that once it prints, like, you know if it's going to work or not. Was able to get the grants through SEEC. It's been amazing. They were able to help me create a legit website so that as a business, again, I can be outside of the community. People can see me and be like, oh, she's legit. This is great. So yeah, I was able to purchase materials to photograph, to get the mannequins so that I have something to represent my items on, and then also to build the website to get some marketing out there. So I really have a genuine love and commitment to wildlife and producing something that's better for the environment than is currently out there in mainstream, shops and larger businesses. I'd say that, and then I always say, I want to create something that's beautiful, but also inspires others to just be better, do better, just think all around on ways that they can help the environment too. These are 3 projects that are near and dear to me from this year. So one was, I was asked, because I've done so much work with Wildlife Rehab Council, they asked if I would do the cover for their conference this year. So it travels throughout the state. Again, they've been amazing supporters. It's the best event I do. And it was in Corning this year. So I was able to come up with the cover. It was on their t-shirt. Dahlia Farm, also near and dear. That's Katie Farrell. We went to school together. She now lives in Albany. She grows dahlias. So the image is from flowers that were in her own backyard. And we worked together to create the cover shirt. I was working with Gaia's Breath Farm. They're an amazing group of people that do biodynamic vegetables. So I was able to print their design. They asked me because what I represent is what they wanted to carry across. So instead of getting like traditional cheap shirts that are just printed in mass quantity, they wanted something that was more handmade, more supporting of the earth. So we worked together to create this design for them. And then at the back, that explains what they do, so biodynamic.
I know we're inside. We've taken kind of a nice, awesome mini tour of the studio. We would love to take a little tour outside and see some of the bigger artwork of how you're tying this all in with the community, so the community can really feel that inspiration, that connectedness. Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's head outside. Can you share a little bit, how did this art piece come about?
Yep. So this one was grant funded. This one was through Create, so an individual artist grant. I was able to take the images, again, through Kelly Martin, so all of them are animals that were in her care.
And this is the Middleburgh Art Park, A True Labor of Love by Bill Morton.
Through the village, he was able to get funding for all of the displays, and then he would get the work from the artists, put the protective varnishes on top so that they can weather.
Love that Middleburgh's really taking it seriously to share the art, to share the talent of you and on the other artists, the different mediums, which are really, really cool. There's some that have similar aspects, but they're all very uniquely different, which is cool. I will say, I have an affinity towards yours because I love the different layers, the owl hiding behind the flower, the cool little caterpillar. It just pops out to me because your dark contrast that you have in the back, which is really, really neat to see how you can fit the pieces together. Because sometimes it's hard to connect those dots or to say, how does this all fit? And it doesn't necessarily have to fit. Like the bunny won't be swimming with the turtle, but at some point there could be this symbiotic kind of intersection.
Anyone who succeeds in their business, I mean, even if you're just trying, the most important part is knowing that you're going to fail over and over and over again. And lots of being creative is the same way. And it's just embracing that again as part of the process and just knowing that you're going to learn through every mistake versus just trying it once and then giving up.
Well, Casey, thank you so much for taking the time to have such an insightful conversation, to see the way that you process the different processes with all the different medias, which is super, super cool, and how you're not just thinking about what your work can do, but how you can really integrate all the work of others and how that inspires you to then inspire others, which is really neat. So thank you so much for that. I'm excited for you for 2025 for that slow down, but I know that slow down means a kind of new refining of sorts, and it's going to be really awesome to see what connections come about later on. So thanks, I appreciate that.
Great, thank you so much.
High five. Sweet.